One thing that is often done to flyers just to make them look pretty is to add a page border, and that's what we're going to do right now. First, I'm going to change my view, and I'm going to ask the zoom to be set so that I can see one page only. Okay, so I see a full page. Next, I'm going to go to the Page Layout tab. Now from here I control everything that has to do with the full page. Under Page Backgrounds, I got Page Borders. I'm going to click Page Borders. Now I get this dialog box called Borders and Shading. First, notice that we're working with page borders. So whatever border we're gonna get is going to apply to the whole page. Next, right here under Style, I would like you to scroll down, and I would like you to pick the one that shows like a broken line right before the solid lines. Notice that our preview right here already shows the dotted lines around the whole page. Next, we're going to change the color of those lines. So I'm going to click at Color, and we're going to pick the dark green accent for lighter 60%. Notice that as you point to those little squares, it always tells you which one it is. The next thing is to make the thickness of those lines bigger. So right here under Width, I'm going to select this and make it 3 points. At this point, we see the preview right here. Now, what we're going to get right now is a square around the whole page. But if you only wanted, let's say, a line on the left and the right, or the top or the bottom, all you have to do is point at the line, click on it, and that takes it away. If you want to put it back, you just point again and click. Okay, so it says that it's going to apply to the whole document, so every page in my report is going to have this border. Now I click OK. The next thing that we're going to do is to play around with the spacing in between paragraphs. Now, by default, when you start Microsoft Word, the spacing before a paragraph is set to 0, and the spacing after a paragraph is set to 10 points. That's why when you hit Enter, you always see a little bigger gap in between the paragraphs than you see in between the lines. I'm going to put the insertion point right after the second picture. And while looking at the page layout, notice that in the paragraph it says that the spacing before is 0 and the spacing after is 10. I would like to make the spacing before 24 points and the spacing after 12 points. Notice that the spacing here got a little bigger than it was before. Let me just undo so we can see the difference. So I'm going to use undo through the keyboard. I'm going to go Control Z. Okay, I went twice to undo the last two changes. Now I'm going to do Control Y, which is redo, to put it back the way it was. So the first Control Y is going to make this 24 points, and the second Control Y is going to make this 12 points. Okay. One thing that you need to do every 10 minutes or so is to save your work. Right now, if we were to turn off the computer by mistake, the work that we've done could get lost. So now I'm going to give the order to save our work. So to do that, I'm going to click on the File tab, which is called the Backstage, and I have the option in here to save or to save as. When you save your work the first time, it makes no difference which one you pick. Save or save as will always bring up save as. So when we do that, it's asking us where do we want to save our work and under what name. So we're going to save this as Found Dog Flyer. So I'm going to change the name from Found Dog to Found Dog Flyer. Now you pick your own place to save your work. I'm going to put mine in my flash drive. So now it's been saved. Now I see at the top of my document that it says Found Dog Flyer.